Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. Handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel, same name as the channel on Instagram, Dreamerspro. And make sure you check out the Dreamerspro podcast that we have pinned below in the comment section. Let me get into this topic. So yesterday, I had a pleasant surprise because I was going through the internet and I came across a segment from Undisputed. And when I clicked on it, who did I see? Paul Pierce. And I was like, wait, Paul Pierce is on Undisputed? So as I was watching it, they were actually previewing the Lakers, the Lakers versus Nuggets game today. That took place yesterday, but they were previewing it. Anyway, so as they were there talking about it, was Skip Bayless, it was Paul Pierce, and it was Keyshawn Johnson. And as you were listening to Paul Pierce talk, Skip was trying to hype up Austin Reeves, and Paul Pierce was like, nah, I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling like he was like, the only reason he got off last year was because he wasn't in a scouting report. And Keyshawn tried to push back, and he's like, no. He's like, you got to show it to me. He's like, you caught everybody off guard last year, but if you want us to really respect that, you got to do it again. And as I'm listening to him, I'm like, man, this is what this show needs, especially during the NBA period. I get the sense that Paul Pierce is one of those guys that's going to call it like he sees it. And personally, I love that about him on that show. And to me, maybe it's just me, but Paul seems totally different from when he was on ESPN. ESPN, it seemed like he was much more PC. He couldn't really say what he thought. But now that he's working on working with FS1, I see much more freedom in his ability to give opinions, and I love that. So yesterday, today, they were talking about what happened last night. Now, as you guys know, the Lakers played the Denver Nuggets last night, and they ended up losing that game. But that wasn't the bigger story, at least from the Lakers side. The bigger story was how Anthony Davis didn't really play up to his abilities. In the first half, he scored 17 points, and in the second half, he went scoreless, and he didn't even attempt a single free throw. So when they were talking about this, Skip asked Paul Pierce to weigh in on what he thought about AD's performance, and he absolutely went in. So for those of you guys who didn't hear that, take a listen to Paul Pierce talking about Anthony Davis yesterday. Take a listen to that.
Paul Pierce, what was your biggest takeaway from Lakers Nuggets?
I mean, should I state the obvious? Obviously, it was the play of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, in a game where we're not going to overreact to one game because it is the first game of the season. You're still getting your legs under yourself. But we all know the stuff that Denver's been talking. Who's your daddy, these things. So you know this game means something. This is the defending champs, and you're not up for game one against the defending champs who swept you a year ago. Then I don't know what to tell you. This just goes to show me that the motivation, and everything we want AD to be is just not there. We want him to be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep.
But we don't see it. And this is going to be an AD we're going to see all year long, who's going to be up and down. He's going to woe you with his numbers one night, have 30 and 11, then come back the next night, because there's no possible way a guy with his ability should come out and have 0 points. And then the one thing that bothered me was in the second half.
Right.
0 points in the second. And the one thing that bothered me, he only had 1 rebound at halftime. Now, you can control that. Now, maybe it was something the Lakers were doing as a team and not force-feeding him the ball as much as they should. But with his ability, he should be able to get to the – Keyshawn, you said you can get to the line at least 4 or 5 times, and he wasn't able to do that in the second half. Dominates the Lakers on the inside and outside. But look at him. He plays big. Anthony Davis needs to learn how to play his size. And when he learns how to do that on a consistent basis. Look, the Joker's offensive rebound. He's jump hooking you to death on the inside. Oh, you want to leave me open for 3? Oh, take that too. So I wasn't surprised what I seen from the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, guys like him, KCP, guys like, and of course, Jamal Murray. These guys are not having a championship hangover. They went out and showed the Lakers who their daddy was.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of KCP, Keyshawn's favorite player. He was a Laker, and Keyshawn texted me about this last night. He just kills the Lakers. He's still taking it out on the Lakers.
I don't know what the answer is to Anthony Davis is playing small when you got a guy like Joker that you see out on the court who's a big, dominating. How come he can't just figure out that he's bigger than everybody else, and he needs to dominate.
Well,
Why?
It has to be a consistent mentality. I mean, he has it some nights. When you look at his numbers, some nights he does. But then it has to be consistent. He has to want to do it every single night. And I'm just not sure, mentality-wise, he has that. You know, we've seen that with Kevin Garnett. We've seen that with Antetokounmpo. We see it with Joel Embiid. And we see it right here with the Joker. Anthony Davis is on the same level ability-wise with all the guys that I named. But as far as a mental aspect of it, he just is not there on a consistent basis.
So you heard what Paul Pierce had to say. Now, I want to touch on something, right? Because to some people, I don't know ball, right? So I want to touch on something quickly. Yesterday, as I was watching that game, and we were going through it, and I'm looking at the game, and I'm looking at the footage, and I'm looking at Nikola Jokic absolutely dominate the Lakers at every single level on the floor. It made me think about some comments that Gilbert Arenas made about Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, talking about, like yesterday Gil was doing a live, and he said, you know, what moves did Karl Malone have? What moves did Hakeem Olajuwon have? I'm like, he had the skyhook, the most unstoppable move in NBA history, and he was kind of getting on Giannis for going to go train with Hakeem because he's like, those moves are outdated. Now, maybe my TV didn't work properly. I don't know ball, right? So maybe somebody will explain it to me. But as I was watching that game, I'm looking at Nikola Jokic. He went 12 of 22. He shot 54% from the field, and he got a triple-double. As I was watching that game, it sure looked like Nikola Jokic was scoring a lot of those points on those hook shots on Anthony Davis. I thought they were futile in today's NBA. I thought they served no purpose. To me, it looked like Nikola Jokic was dominating those Lakers in the post. But I thought a post game isn't important. I was just recently, we recently did an interview with Michael Cooper. Funny enough, I never heard Michael Cooper say I don't know anything about the NBA. But anyway, I was interviewing Michael Cooper, and Michael Cooper said he thought it would make perfect sense for Anthony Davis, for Giannis to go train with Hakeem Olajuwon. He said because they don't even defend the post. So I'm trying to figure it out. Were my eyes deceiving me, or was not Nikola Jokic dominating the Lakers in the low post with those hook shots? I mean, maybe I don't get it because I was told that those shots are futile and obsolete and they have no place in the NBA and you're not going to be able to score any points on. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I got to get Paul Pierce on the show to explain it to me. I don't know. Somebody will help me figure it out. I'm confused about this. I don't know what to think. Anyway. Excuse my ignorance. I need to watch more film or something, and maybe I need to use Bing. But anyway, digress. So back to the game and back to what Paul Pierce said. I think Paul Pierce was 100% on the money, and I think if Paul Pierce continues to talk like this, the way that he's talking about NBA players in terms of giving a candid assessment of what he is seeing, I think he's going to make a lot of enemies out of players. But I think he's going to gain a lot of fans out of the people that watch him. Because in my personal view, your job is not to go up there and twerk it up. Your job is to tell the audience exactly what you think and how you see it. Whether if you're talking about an NBA player or you're talking about a journalist, say what you think. If you don't say the obvious and you start saying some other stuff, people are not going to take you seriously. So to me, just personally, as someone watching this new iteration of the show that now features Paul Pierce, I personally love it. It's a breath of fresh air, and now I can actually watch some of their NBA segments and actually enjoy it. Before, I was not enjoying it. I just wasn't. I wasn't enjoying it. But now with Paul Pierce and the way that he's talking, I agree with him. And about Anthony Davis, I think Anthony Davis deserves every bit of criticism that he's getting. I think he deserves every bit of criticism. LeBron James is going to be about 8 to 9 years, Anthony Davis is senior in December. LeBron is turning 39 years old in December. Anthony Davis is what, 31 years old? 31 years old. Most young boys would be taking that organization by the rein. But AD just got that follower energy, man. When I saw him up there in those press conferences a number of years ago, AD used to sit next to LeBron like as if he's LeBron. That's the part that gets, it's like, no, LeBron is LeBron and you're AD. LeBron is the top 5 guy, you're not. LeBron is a guy that's already proven himself. You're the guy that hasn't proved yourself. And from that point, I already knew. So none of this really surprises me. AD wants to be under LeBron's wing and for LeBron to basically to shepherd him along the way. So to me, man, I think Paul Pierce was 100% on the money, and he needs to keep that same energy moving forward. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.